An interesting way to conceive India's societal culture as compared to that of America is by considering phrases which are foundational to each country's ethos. On the one hand, we have the United States of America, with its motto carried on the Great Seal and on the back of dollar bills, E Pluribus Unum. This Latin phrase is translated as out of many one, and refers to the way several different cultures and backgrounds are committed to forge a sense of oneness as Americans. The idea of America as the great melting pot of cultures connotes something similar. On the other hand, at the heart of Indian civilization is the opposite idea, out of one, many. One motto frequently quoted by Prime Minister Modi and others is used in this spirit, almost the inverse of E Pluribus Unum. And that's the Sanskrit phrase Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, translated as the world is one family. It's even inscribed at the entrance hall of the Parliament of India, and it espouses the idea that all of humanity is part of one universal divine energy or consciousness, expressing itself in various ways, and that we are all related, that what we have in common lies not before or in front of us, but within and beyond us. Although I must add that the ancient Indians used this phrase, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, in a much more cynical sense, quite frequently, but that's a story for another time. For now, what matters is how it's being used today. There are many examples of this idea, out of one, many, and it finds expression in Indian culture in a variety of different ways. The whole 9 yards in America may refer to the unloading of a magazine of bullets, but in India, 9 yards refers to the sari. This traditional Indian woman's dress, the sari, is one piece of cloth up to 9 yards long, but wrapped in dozens of different ways in different parts of India, and for different occasions. Similarly, in Indian classical music, ragas follow a set format with standardized scales and tempos, but leaving room for myriad improvisations. Did you know that the earliest example of electronic house music, coming out several years before the genre got going in Chicago and Detroit, was actually an album called 10 Ragas to a Disco Beat, composed by an Indian Bollywood session musician experimenting with a synthesizer called Charanjit Singh in 1982. You can check that out and the links to the whole story, including links to some of the music, on the next further resources page. Now, such is the power of the all-encompassing ethos of pluralism in India that some credit as being the reason why India has historically been able to resist homogenization when new ideas or communities have swept through the subcontinent. Instead, what normally happens is syncretism. For example, the Sikh religion coming out of the interaction between Islam and Hinduism in northwest India in the 15th century. Another earlier example would be that of Buddha, who is the founder of an arguably atheistic religion, yet is simultaneously regarded by many Hindus as an incarnation of the Hindu god Vishnu. The out of one many concept, that there is unity beyond this world of difference, emerges in so many forms throughout India's civilizational conversation. So let's end by quoting from India's oldest text, the Rig Veda. Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, but the wise call it by many names.